Kent residents have growing concern, a particular car part being stolen from cars around campus. We have what to watch out for ahead.
Boxes of cornflakes were stopped at airport customs, not because they were food, but because they were narcotics. We have the latest on the inception coming up.
Federal funding is now being offered after the storms that took place last week. We have all the details. Stick with us.
A Columbus lineman was restoring power all the way in West Virginia when his wife went into labor. Stay with us to see how he made it just in time.
This is TV2 News.
Thank you for joining us this evening for your Monday news. I'm Anna Louden.
And I'm Baylee Sweitzer.
Recently, catalytic converters have been stolen from vehicles located around Kent State's campus.
And our very own Melissa Meyers has all the details surrounding this story. Hi, Melissa.
Hi guys, officials say these thieves typically work in groups. One person will take an electric saw, crawl under a car, and within minutes drive off with a catalytic converter. Over the weekend, Kent State sent out an advisory warning students that catalytic converters are being stolen from vehicles on and off campus.
So far on campus within the past few days, we've taken 4 theft reports for catalytic converters.
Catalytic converter theft has been a national trend over the past few years and has now made its way to the university, leaving students to fall victim.
So I'm on the ground looking under my car, and there's just a whole blank spot where there should be a giant piece of my car.
Abby Wiles says she's one of 2 students whose catalytic converters were stolen at the Province Apartments off campus.
That was so clean. I could tell from where the pipe ended. They had to have used a power saw. They didn't use a hand saw.
According to university police, theft of these catalytic converters can happen anytime.
It only takes a couple minutes for them to go and steal that part of the vehicle. So it can technically happen at any time, day or night.
Experts say one obvious way to know if your catalytic converter has been stolen is to turn on your car and listen to the engine.
I went to go start my car, and it started, but it sounded like my muffler was just gone. It sounded like a race car in the worst way possible.
As police continue to search for suspects, they are advising students to contact them if they see any suspicious activities, like people looking under vehicles or lurking around parking lots. The police department is also taking extra precautions as well.
They're out there. They realize the issue that's going on right now with the catalytic converters. So they are in those areas giving some extra attention to the residence hall areas and other parking lots where students' cars are parked.
Now, if you do see someone trying to steal a catalytic converter, police say there's more than 30 blue light phones stationed across campus that will immediately connect with campus police. For TV2 News, I'm Melissa Meyers.
Researchers at Kent State University are working to find the best alternative to N95 masks for the general public. They have yet to be able to replicate the golden standard of masks. However, they have found a few successful alternatives. Sterilization wrap is one of the most common currently available at most hospitals. Other preventative measures like drying cloth masks and preventing moisture on masks has also been proven to be effective. Kent State has implemented a new testing policy for students living on campus. TV2's Nathan Welsh has all the details. Hi, Nathan.
COVID testing at the Kent State Ice Arena is changing from rapid testing to PCR testing. PCR testing is more effective at detecting COVID-19, but results take 2 to 3 days to come in. Rapid testing results come in sooner, but are not always as reliable. Testing at Kent State has proven to be effective in limiting the spread of COVID-19, as Manfred Van Dolman stated in a press conference.
For the residence hall testing, we've consistently seen a positivity rate under 1%. So that also has meant that our isolation and quarantine space occupancy rates have been very low. We've not had to quarantine any residence halls floors compared to last semester when it happened a number of times.
From TV2 Studio in Franklin Hall, I'm Nathan Welsh.
Ohio Customs authorities in Cincinnati recently intercepted a shipment of 44 pounds of cornflakes with a cocaine-coated frosting. Officials stated that a narcotics detective dog was checking incoming deliveries from Peru when he alerted officers to the white substance that tested positive for cocaine. The Cincinnati Port Director stated that inspectors will continue to try to prevent further shipments of this matter.
While some states have provided clarity for their residents and when they can expect a vaccine, that certainty has yet to be clear for Ohio residents. With Phase 1B near completion, many of those at risk, such as police officers, teachers, and those with underlying medical conditions, are questioning Ohio officials when the vaccine will be available. Last Tuesday, Governor Mike DeWine stated that experts were still working to figure out who is the most vulnerable and how many to prevent lost lives as possible.
It's Monday, Marz Anderson here once again, and we're in a new week, so that means new weather, and I am so happy to report it to you right here on TV2 on KentWire.com. Let's take a look. Now, currently in Kent, I believe it is about 37 degrees. Unfortunately, I don't know why it's appearing like that. We have a little bit of rain. It feels like about 13 degrees. I know that it's been a lot of weather that has, looking outside, there's been a lot of wet weather. There's been that snow that's been melting, and it looks like further in the week we'll be seeing some temperatures rise. Currently, we see in Kent we're at about 30 degrees, Youngstown 32, Canton 39, Ashtabula 32, Cleveland 31, Worcester 31, Sandusky 30, and Mansfield 32. Now, of course, when we leave here, because you know TV2 does go ahead and play another 30 minutes till 7 o'clock. At about 8 p.m. we'll have some clouds and some wind. That weather will stay the same up until 12 a.m. Well, all right, more weather in minutes with myself, Marz Anderson. Stay tuned right here on TV2 News.
Thanks, Marz. Governor DeWine held a press conference Monday morning releasing Ohio's pandemic responses.
Ohio will launch a new part of the coronavirus dashboard that will let nursing home visitors know when and if they can do compassionate care visits on a county-by-county basis. He noted there are not updates on COVID vaccinations, and the next group to receive vaccinations are those 60 and older. DeWine also said announcements on allowing fans in professional stadiums will come at a later date. For the first time since November, gas prices are climbing in the U.S. 66% of state averages have spiked by double digits, with the growth in prices still rising. Almost 40% of production is currently offline because refineries are closed due to last week's winter weather. A near 24 of the impacted refineries are set to restart operations this week if they haven't yet. The Kent City Council is currently working on a new project for chimney swifts. Stay tuned for all the details.
And former President Donald Trump will make his first political appearance after leaving office. Stick around to see where he is speaking this Sunday.
What to expect when you're expecting. A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, What are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Chimney swifts will soon have a new roost in the Tree City in Kent. The Kent City Council met to discuss a new project to install a new chimney swift tower on the hike and bike trail along Haymakers Parkway. TV2's Grace Hare has the story.
Kent State just recently accepted a grant in order to build a chimney swift habitat on Haymaker Parkway. Gwen Rosenberg, Kent City Council at Large, explains the details.
Chimney swift is a little bird. It probably has a wingspan of maybe 11 to 12 inches. They spend their entire waking hours in flight in the sky. They can't roost in trees or perch on branches the way you would expect a bird to, but they nest inside of chimneys.
Kent City Superintendent of Engineering Jim Bowling shares that plans to preserve chimney swifts habitats began several years ago when talk of a new Kent police station was out in order.
The former police department is going to be demolished, and that's where the city's going to be building a new city hall. So the former police department that's being demolished has a chimney on it that will be, taken down. So this is meant to replace that housing for the chimney swifts.
The chimney swifts towers will be made out of red, white, and black brick designs and can be found along the hike and bike trail on Haymaker Parkway between KSU campus and the current police station.
Local ceramics artist who's going to be making some tiles to go on it. There's going to be a little bench around it along with some interpretive signs. So the object being for people to check out these little birds and see what they're up to and maybe learn a little bit about them.
For more information about chimney swifts, please visit the Kent State webpage. I'm Grace Hare, reporting for TV2 News.
Biden has declared that Texas is experiencing a major disaster as residents continue to endure the aftermath of the winter storm that hit early last week. As of Saturday morning, due to the storm, 27 deaths have been reported in the state, and food and drinking water are in short supply. With the major disaster declaration, people in 77 of the 254 counties will now be eligible for federal funding to help in recovery efforts.
There is actually a website called days.2, and you can actually find out how many days are left of winter. We have about 25 days left. March 20th is looking like that first day of spring, and we're definitely sending our love out to everyone in Texas. Now, going ahead and looking at your statewide temperatures, we have Akron listed at 33, Steubenville 36, Athens 38, Columbus 36, Lima 35, Lima 33, Dayton 35, and Cincinnati 38. Going ahead and looking at tomorrow, before we go ahead and bring you back to TV2 News, there'll be some snow 12 afternoon tomorrow. Mostly cloudy skies. That snow will go ahead and stop, and we'll go ahead and increase the weather a little bit. We'll have 38 degrees around 4 p.m. Looking at your 7-day, it does get a little bit cold at the beginning of the week. As you see, we're at that high of 37, high of 39 on Monday and Tuesday, to where we move into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as that weather increases, decreases, and then increases once again. We see that we have some clouds, but some sun on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then going into Saturday, there is some breezy rain there, and then there will be some sun and some high clouds there. Now, meet me here every Monday, 6 p.m. on KentWire.com. I'll deliver you a week's worth of news and weather, and we're going to keep you informed before the storm. Once again, Marz Anderson and back to the desk.
After an engine explosion over Denver last Saturday, federal aviation regulators are ordering United Airlines to ground and inspect all Boeing 777s. The incident has prompted this order comes after United Airlines Flight 328 had to make an emergency landing after its right engine blew apart just after takeoff. No one on board or on ground was reportedly hurt. Actions are being taken to ensure the engine for this model remains safe for future use.
Former President Donald Trump is scheduled to speak at the Conservative Political Action Conference next Sunday. Former Vice President Mike Pence has declined his invitation. Sources have stated that Trump is planning to speak about the future of the Republican Party and the conservative movement. This speaking engagement will mark Trump's first public appearance following his departure.
Dominion Voting Systems sued Mike Lindell, chief executive of MyPillow, alleging that the businessman has defamed the company due to the accusations that the company rigged the 2020 election for President Biden. In its complaint, the company cites a number of citations made by Mr. Lindell while he was trying to show election fraud. The company sued Mike Lindell, seeking more than $1.3 billion in damages. And President Joe Biden plans to hold a candlelight service for the 500,000 Americans that were killed by COVID-19. First Lady Jill Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff will join Biden for a moment of silence. Biden also ordered a flags down at half-staff on all federal properties for 5 days. The service will take place at the White House later tonight.
The Kent State men's basketball team had a crazy game against Central Michigan. Tune into my sports report to see how they did.
We might root for different teams, but we all respect the game. And we can all root for each other when we wear a mask. Mask up, America.
It's not my first time bartending, so.
It's a sausage party in here.
It's fine. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam. Last thing,
Yeah.
is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is going to get a little bit loud in here. So your customers are going to have a hard time hearing you. So you may want to.
What?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Mergen and this is your TV2 Sports Report. The Kent State gymnastics team cruised to a win against Mid-American Conference rival Central Michigan on Sunday. The team scored just over 196 points in the contest. It's the most the team has ever scored since 2018. This team has the number 23rd ranked floor lineup in the country, and they are living up to the hype this season. Coach Bryce Biggin said, "This was the best I have seen them compete as a team in a long time. I'm extremely proud of the way they handled themselves against a very good Central Michigan team. This team will compete 3 more times to end the regular season before the MAC Championships. MAC Championships take place on March 20th. The Cleveland Cavaliers were back in action last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Cavs lost with a final score of 117-101. The struggles on defense continue for this team. The Cavs scoring was not the biggest issue, as they had 3 players with 20-plus points in this game, but they couldn't defend. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went off for 31 points, and veteran Al Horford had 16. The Cavs just had no answers. The Cavs also shot 8 for 35 from 3 last night, which is a terrible 22%. The Thunder shot 46% from 3, and this allowed the Thunder to outscore the Cavs in every quarter. This Cavs team is young, but they have now lost 10 straight games. They have given up over 100 points in all 10 losses. They have not picked up a win since February 1st. This is a terrible stretch for Cleveland, and they have only won 2 of their last 16 games. Many fans would hope that this Cavs team at one point this season could be contending for the playoffs, but any hopes this season are slowly slipping away. Cavs take on the Hawks tomorrow at 7 p.m. The Kent State men's basketball team hosted Eastern Michigan University on Saturday, and what a game this was. Let's take a look at the highlights. Flashes took the lead early. Here's a nice assist to Giovanni Santiago for the 3. Flashes up early in this one, and the Flashes played great defense all game. Santiago able to stay with his man. Eastern Michigan moving the ball nicely, but Danny Pippin on this play gets the steal and goes all the way for the Flashes. What a dunk, and he does 2 hands for safety. Pippin was a one-man show all game and was 1 assist shy of a triple-double in the game. But you can't count out Eastern Michigan. Great defense turns to great offense. Montero gets the steal, and Eastern Michigan University brings the Thunder on the alley-oop, and the Eagles draw close. And great ball movement for the Eagles, and Montero calls his own number, hits the tough 3, and what a shot, and Kent State calls timeout. But the Flashes were able to close out the game. Great defense by Pippin on this play leads to a missed 3, a dime pass by Santiago on the play, and the left-handed jam, and this one was all over. Flashes win 64-51 to close this one out. For sports, I'm Matthew Mergen, and make sure to tune to Sports Corner tonight at 8 p.m.
Columbus native Justin Crossman was in West Virginia when he got a call from his wife for their baby's delivery. Stay with us for how he made it just in time.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Do you want to do?
Stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
A lineman worker helping to restore power in West Virginia makes it home just in time to meet his newborn baby girl. CNN's Bryant Somerville has the story.
When duty calls, you answer. When your wife calls, well, we'll get there.
We were just doing storm restoration and helping people out with their power.
Justin Crossman's duty as a lineman with AEP Ohio to restore the light in the darkest of days. And that's what he was doing.
It's just to help out. I mean, people are losing power left and right. And I mean, it's a good deed, something I can give back and help out. You know, it's all about helping people out.
He was part of a unit that last week headed south to West Virginia, helping the state turn the power back on after a devastating winter storm. Back at home in Kenton, Ohio, his wife Miranda, who, try as she might, knew their baby girl.
We thought we had some time, and she had different plans.
Due March 9th, was making an early appearance.
That night, it just hit really fast. My contractions got closer together, and I just knew that no matter how much I was trying to put it off, I'm like, I need to make the phone call. And
the call of duty is admirable. The call of a wife in labor, though, trumps everything.
Your immediate reaction is...
Oh, no.
That call came about 1 a.m. on February 17th. 20 minutes later, Crossman was on the road. being driven by a fellow AEP Ohio worker so that he could be on his phone getting updates. Then, at 7:02 p.m. on the 17th, at 6 pounds, 10 ounces, and 20 inches, baby Rue Elaine was born. Her dad, proudly, there to greet her.
You got that little one in your arms there. What's that like?
Oh, it's the best feeling in the world.
Answering his most important call as a proud father. Brian Somerville, 10 TV News.
Well, that's so awesome that he made it back in time. Talk about perfect timing.
Right? I can't even imagine the trip there.
Yeah.
Even whenever you're restoring power in West Virginia, first of all, the weather probably is awful. And also on the way back home, I can't even imagine what he had to go through to just get back home. But he made it. He made it just in time.
Well, that was the weather last week. Let's take a look at the weather ahead for this week. So looking at Monday, today is about 37 for the high, and tomorrow about the same at 39. Wednesday, it looks like it's going to be a little bit sunny with some clouds at 45, which is fine with me. Looks like the temperature's going up.
On Thursday, we have 37 degrees for the high. We are kind of at the low end, so we get that same temperature that we have today. 42 for Friday, getting up there, getting some increasing temperatures. And on Saturday and Sunday, we luckily have even higher temperatures at 48 and 47 with some sun and high clouds on Sunday and some rain on Saturday.
Well, I'll take rain over snow any day.
Me too. You said it.
Well, that does it for this Monday evening. You can always find top headlines on KentWired.com.
And be sure to follow us on social media at KentWired.com. I'm Baylee Sweitzer.
And I'm Anna Louden. Have a great night, Portage County.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.